Hello everyone! Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I am Lina Haryanti and I am a student at BHAKTI KENCANA University in Bandung. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is the characteristic of a good pharmacist. My topic will be very important to you because good pharmacists play a big role in saving lives but are often invisible. In my presentation, I will focus on three major issues. Point 1, deal with definition, good pharmacist practice. Point 2, criteria for good pharmacist. And point 3, 7 star plus for pharmacist good. My presentation will take about 10 minutes. Okay? The next slide is definition and criteria good pharmacy practice. Good pharmacy practice is the way to carry out good pharmaceutical service and service comprehensively in the form of a chart that contains a number of standards of pharmacists in carrying out their professional practice in faculty's pharmaceutical service. In carrying out good pharmaceutical service, pharmacists must meet the following criteria below. Point 1, must meet administrative requirements. Furthermore, have a diploma from an accredited pharmacy education institution, especially for graduates. A board must go through an adaptation mechanism in accordance with applicable regulation. Have a pharmacy registration certificate. Have a pharmacist registration certificate. Have a valid certificate of competence. Have a pharmacist practice license. Point 2, have basic physical and mental health. Point 3, professional appearance, health, clean and neat. Point 4, using practice attributes. Example, practice clothes, identifier marks, and others. Provide continuous training on good pharmaceutical service practice or CPFP for all personnel. The next is 7 star plus. Picture 1, this is caregiver. Picture 2, this is decision maker. Picture 3, this is communicator. Picture 4, this is leader. Picture 5, this is manager. Picture 6, this is long learner. Point 7, this is guru. And another one is researcher. I mean the 6th picture, that is lifelong learner. Okay. Next, point 1, this is caregiver. Pharmacist as service providers in the form of clinical, analytical, technical, appropriate service legislation. In providing service, pharmacists must interact with patients individually or in groups. Point 2. This is decision maker. Pharmacists in carrying out their work must be based on the adequacy, usefulness, efficiency, cost-effective and efficient for all use resources such as human resources, drug, chemical, equipment, procedures, and other. For to achieve this goal, the pharmacist's abilities and skill need to be evaluated, and the result form the basis for determining the education and training required. The next point 3, this is communicator. Pharmacists have an important position in dealing with patients and other health professions. Therefore, you must have the ability to communicate the good one. Communicate includes verbal, nonverbal, listening, and writing skill. The next point for this is leader. Pharmacists are expected to have the ability to become leaders. Leadership that expected to include the courage to make empathetic and effective decisions and the ability to communicate and manage decision results. Point 5. Manager. Pharmacists must effectively manage resources, human, physical, budget, and information. Two must be able to lead and lead others on the health trend. Even further, pharmacists must be responsive to advances in information technology and be willing to share information about drugs and other things related to drugs. Point 6. Lifelong learn. Pharmacists need to carry out continuous professional development or CPD to improve knowledge, attitude, and professional skill. Therefore, pharmacists must be up to date in carrying on professional practice. The next point 7. Teacher. Pharmacists have a responsibility to educate and train next generation pharmacists' future. His participation is not only in sharing new knowledge with each other, but also opportunities to gain experience and improve skill. The next point 8. Researcher. Pharmacists must always apply scientific principles or rules in collecting information, pharmaceutical preparation, and pharmaceutical service, and use them in the development and implementation of pharmaceutical service. Of the 7 stars is the role of pharmacists in running and carrying out pharmaceutical service. A pharmacist must have and maintain a level of competence in accordance with applicable competency standards. Okay. Well, this brings me to the end of my presentation. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to say about the characteristic of a good pharmacist. Of this presentation is that a good pharmacist is a good pharmacist in carrying out his duties, to this in order to achieve the ultimate goal of improving the patient's quality of life. Okay, thank you. Hopefully useful for all.